Alright, what's up, folks? Today is Tuesday, November 29th, 2016. Rich Van Tassel. I'm doing the weekly, well, whatever, we'll just call it the Celtics report right now. I was planning on doing it yesterday. I didn't realize that the game against the Heat was scheduled for Monday. I thought it was scheduled for Sunday because normally when I do them on Sunday, if there's a game happening that day, I would want to wait till the end of that game. So once Sunday passed and I realized it was Monday, I figured at that point I would just wait until that game ended. Of course, the Celtics won last night, 112 to 104. The 104 points, a bit too many, but Miami was getting a couple of garbage points late. The Celtics were well in hand of that game. They're certainly picking up the pace, taking advantage of that weak schedule that we talked about. You look at it, I mean, the Pelicans' loss was pretty disgusting, but they had the Mavericks, the Warriors, they then lost to them 1-3 straight. The one that's really killing me, though, they should have beat the Spurs in that game. I'm sorry. I don't know what Greg Popovich's total record is against the Celtics. It's absurd, though. He can't have many more than 5 losses. They had that game won. San Antonio is a very good road team. I'm not sure if they got their first loss on the road yet, but the Celtics, people are talking about, the Spurs, they're a veteran team. Yeah, the Spurs are still 10-0 on the road, but they're a veteran team. They showed, the Celtics don't have the type of veteran play that the Spurs do, which I would agree to on the level. Yes, they don't have the veterans that the Spurs do, of course, but the Celtics, to me, are still a veteran enough team, and Horford was in that game. This is a team that's been to the playoffs the past 2 years. They've won big games. They broke the streak of the Golden State Warriors, the 54-game home winning streak. So in that regard, I still don't think that that's an excuse for why they didn't win that game. That's one they should have had, but they didn't. They let it slip away. They still won 4 of the last 5. They're beating the bad teams, 6-4 on the road now, as opposed to, 3-3 at home. Or are they only 5-4 at home? I gotta double check that. But they're certainly above 500 at home or on the road, which is very good. We talked about that. I want them to finish above 500 on the road for the season, of course, because last year they were 20-21. So yeah, 4-3 at home, 6-4 on the road. So that's good. I'd like their home record to improve a little bit. That's certainly something to keep an eye on, but definitely, especially right now, beating the bad teams on the road, that's big for them. They had trouble with that last year. They had trouble beating bad teams last year. I mean, there were plenty of games they lost to Minnesota. They lost to Brooklyn twice. The Mavericks, who weren't as bad as they were last year, they lost to a few times last year. So it's good to see that. And you look now, they got Detroit tomorrow at home. That could be a difficult game, but Detroit is not really come along yet. I would hope the Celtics can pull that one out. Sacramento at home, at Philly. Houston would be a tough one. At Orlando, then versus Toronto. So you look at their next 5 games. That Toronto one's at home. They're chasing Toronto in the division, of course. That'd be a nice statement victory. You let the San Antonio statement victory go. You let the Golden State statement victory go, or a road win at Houston. Frankly, I'd like to see them get both, as everyone would. But no reason they shouldn't go at least 3-2, 4-1. Then it starts to toughen up a bit. You have the Oklahoma City Thunder on the road, San Antonio on the road. We know that's a loss. Greg Popovich simply does not lose to the Celtics. Charlotte at home, Miami on the road. Miami's a team they can handle. Memphis, Mike Conley, we just saw, is out 6 to 8 weeks, so maybe not as difficult. But at Indiana versus Oklahoma City again, at the Knicks on Christmas. So you look at after this 5-game stretch, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games until Christmas. They could easily lose 5 of those 8 games. I don't think they will. I think they're good enough to solve things. And even coming out of that, Memphis, Cleveland, Utah, not a difficult team. At Toronto are just a few of those games, but some winnable games as well in there. But certainly this next 5 after Detroit, to me, you got to beat the Pistons at home tomorrow night if you want to be the team that you're expected to be. And then after that, those next 5. So we'll give them the Pistons. If they can go 4-1 in the 5 after the Pistons, that'd be 5-1 from here. They'd be 15-8 after 23 games. You look at it, you have the bit of a struggle up until Christmas and then after that. But still, you play, if you're 15-8, that's 23 games. Over your next 27, if you go 15-12, which is just a little over 500, which they should be able to do, they'd be 30-20 going down the stretch, and I think that would be fine. But that's getting a little ahead of ourselves. We'll have to check out. But certainly, these next 6, again, I'm giving them Detroit tomorrow. If they don't beat Detroit, that's disappointing in my opinion. I know Celtics fans will disagree with me because a lot of times they disagree with anything I say that's at all negative about the Celtics. But I'm sorry, a loss tomorrow to the Pistons at home is not acceptable. We'll see if Horford's back. He was gone for the birth of his daughter. I'm just seeing that he took some criticism for that. I don't give him criticism for that. They won the game anyway, so... let's get past it. As far as the way the team's playing, they're very good when Horford's in. Isaiah Thomas, his shooting percentage is starting to dip a little bit. I'd like to see him do better than that. His last 10 games, he's not shooting 40%. In November, he's shooting just over 40%. He's averaging 26 points. He gets to the line, but I need it a little better than that. I'm sure the rest of the Celtics would agree, but still averaging 26 points. We see Avery Bradley's coming down just a bit, but Avery Bradley's doing fine. Isaiah is at 42% for the season, but in November, which is essentially the whole season, they didn't play that many games in October, he's down at 40%. So if he could get those numbers up to 42, 43%, I'd like to see that. Let's hope he can start developing that. When Horford comes back, he might not have to take the amount of shots. Horford had been playing. You want the continuity. Like I said, you have those 6 games coming up. Let's get him back involved and see where things go from there. Rebounding still got to improve. They've got to stop giving up these runs in games. I mean, folks, we're not talking about, the team going on an 8-0 run or an 11-2 run. Yesterday in the third quarter, they let Miami score 42 points on them. Brooklyn had a big run. I mean, we're talking about runs that are like 16-4 or, 14-2. 21-8 or something like that. There's just extended runs where the Celtics go cold, and I'm sorry, they've got to correct the rebounding, they've got to correct that run situation, or they're not going to be the team that we all hope they would be. But they'll take that one step at a time. Horford, let's hope they finally have the roster now coming together. He was out that game last night, but with him, they're looking good. So let's see. Jay Crowder's now back. I'd like to see them take advantage of these next 6 games and then piece their way together through what would be a difficult stretch after that, right up until Christmas. So let's see what happens moving forward with the Boston Celtics. All right, so that is the Celtics report. Sorry, like I said, it came 2 days late. I had the mistake with the schedule, but we'll either do them on Sunday or a Monday, or right after on Sunday, depending how the games break. Have a good night, and we'll see you next time.